We're hitting the dog days of summer. That means it's half over. Temperatures have been and continue to rise. And so is the rhetoric coming from the political left. For example, Texas Democrat and Squad member Greg Kurzar held a thirst and hunger strike on the steps of the Texas Capitol yesterday to protest a recent water break law from Governor Greg Abbott. Democrats claim the law bans construction workers from taking water breaks. Governor Abbott says that won't be the case. Kurzar wore a heart rate monitor and stayed cool with cold towels, but his entire strike lasted all of 9 hours. President Biden also joined in. He's now demonizing Republicans in the name of climate change. Watch it.
In all my Investing in America agenda, we provided a record $50 billion for climate resiliency. But our MAGA extremists in Congress are trying to undo all this progress. Not a single one of them, not a single Republican voted for the Inflation Reduction Act, which had all this money in it for climate, which provides funding to combat climate change. And now many of them are trying to repeal those provisions. We're not going to let that happen.
And over on a competitor, they are not sure quite how long it will take for the so-called climate crisis to end the world.
There is new science about a big circulation system in the Atlantic known as the AMOC. If that shuts down, it's sort of an apocalyptic scenario we've seen in movies like The Day After Tomorrow. There is some debate as to when that tipping point could happen. A new paper has it as early as 2025, but as late as 2090.
Okay, so that current, I've read about it, and it takes cooler water into the depths of the ocean. It's naturally occurring. We're in an El Nino right now off the coast of Florida. The waters are very warm. I mean, he could tell the whole story, I suppose. Casey, what do you make of it all?
Day After Tomorrow was a great movie. First
it was great.
Fantastic movie. And
you know, this network owned by parent company who made the movie.
Before he
so I'm glad a lot of people saw it.
Not a coincidence.
But not to get off track. Yes, there should be regulations for working out in extreme heat. Absolutely. You should have safety while you're on the job. But it's going back to what I was saying about these reps and these politicians who want this notoriety. How many people here intermittent fast? While you're sleeping? Like how many hours? 16 hours? Maybe you don't have any water? I mean, am I a hero? Do I need a cake for this?
Oh, goodness.
It's just, they want this celebrity, like, I'm going to take a sip of water. Everyone gather around and what are you fixing by doing that? Right. Do it amongst your peers.
But they're not interested in policy making.
No.
They're interested in performance.
Correct.
I mean, we live in an
Broadway.
era of performative activism. This is what it's all about. And you got to get the photo op, you get the cameras, pat me down for standing out in the sun for 20 minutes. I mean, it's absolutely absurd. But I will say there are some members of Congress who you don't know their names, but they're actually getting things done for their constituents, trying to do their best, for their country. And you don't know their names because they're not out here trying to flaunt in front of the TV screens,
yes,
going outside. They're not TikToking. But we're seeing just a growing number of, especially amongst the Squad members, of just this kind of performative activism to try to gain clout and promote their name. So.
Let's dig into the politics of that for a minute, because maybe they feel like they have to now. Their voices have been squelched as of recent days on issues that are big issues. It's interesting.
Well, I think in some part, Donald Trump kind of started this, right? The performance of it. And we loved it because he got things done. But on the other side with the Squad, they're not really getting anything done like Donald Trump did. They're just squawking, and they want to be influencers because they are, by and large, young people, and they see the influencer culture that we all live in, and they would rather be influencers than policymakers. If you look at AOC, has she really introduced anything or done anything, whether you like it or not, that's substantive or been passed?
Well, not positive. She did, keep a lot of jobs out of her district.
Right.
And not letting a corporation open there.
And she did, you could say that she kind of pushed the Green New Deal, which we all thought was ridiculous when she first talked about it. But if you look at her legislative record, she really doesn't have anything to tout, but everybody knows who she is. So you see other members on both sides, they just want to be known. They want their name out there without really doing anything. If you're Donald Trump and you got your name out there and you're doing something, that's fine. If you're just talking a lot and getting a lot of likes and retweets, not really performing for your base. And we talked about, older members of Congress, older elected officials, but we also have a problem with the young ones not doing anything. So where do we go?
I want to shift a little bit, if I can, to Hillary Clinton and come to you, Emily. So Hillary Clinton tweeted this on Tuesday. Hot enough for you? Thank a MAGA Republican, or better yet, vote them out of office. Speaking of human thirst traps. There you go.
Hillary has never been referred to as a thirst trap. Harris, but that was
Not in the same sentence. I don't need to put those two
very
things.
kind of
Thanks for liking my brand of humor.
That's hysterical. I lost my train of thought because that was awesome. So this is the same, former Secretary of State who referred to Republicans as a real threat to democracy, right? These are people who are digging into the most divisive rhetoric possible because they are only obsessed with their performative quality. And I think I draw a distinction between, as you said, getting something done and sort of having a performance veneer on top rather than just performative activism, which I think all of those wannabe influencers are residing in that thin sheen on top of actually doing something, because perhaps they are too inexperienced or too immature or too naive or whatever. But the average American voter, the Americans like us, feel the difference. We scoff at someone pretending on the steps to be thirsty when real Americans are actually thirsty in their food deserts, in prisons, in horrible, deplorable conditions. But according to Hillary Clinton, the only deplorables are those people who voted for Trump. And it is so telling, by the way, that Marquette poll just came out with this, that President Biden is only getting 54% of Democratic voters in a field of 3 people running. And you contrast that with President Trump, who has well in the 30s support with only 12, a field of 12. So what does that tell you? That 27% of people are undecided in that party about their president. And all he's pushing lately is climate change. Americans want actual action and actual change.
So he knew you were going to say that because he's getting ready to get back on tour with the Bidenomics tour, which didn't go well the first time he did it or the second time. He's been trying to talk about the economy, but then something always happens with the economy. You had a quick word. Can you make it in 10 seconds?
Yeah, now about the Bidenomics. I don't know anyone who takes like the worst part of their record and then goes around celebrating it as if it's some achievement. It's amazing what the kind of the levels that our politicians are stooping to these days. But we'll see at the end of this tour.
Yes. Delusional?
Yeah.
Hey everyone, I'm Emily Campagno. Catch me and my co-hosts Harris Faulkner and Kaylee McEnany on Outnumbered every weekday at 12 p.m. Eastern, or set your DVR. Also, don't forget to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page for daily highlights.